GM, we are live. And what a wonderful day it is. It is a football Thursday. We are back. And we don't have eliminator pods. This is a crisis. This is a crisis facing our beloved Underdog streets. We simply don't know. We simply don't know who we're playing yet. As of about 10 minutes ago, they were still not up. But we're going to see. Maybe they came up. Maybe they come up early. We're going to check. And yeah, we could probably hop into a BR pretty quick after that. Let's see what's live, though. If we go to best ball, no, I can tell because my currently winning number has not budged, and that will and that will change when the eliminator is live. Nope, we are still showing our one team left from last week. But you know what? Hopefully while we're on stream, we could unveil something fun, see what we're up to, see who we're up against. Hey, Chris, GM Candles. GM to you, Chris. One of the good ones. Always appreciate you leaving a comment after the stream. It means a ton. Helps with the algorithm. Thanks so much for doing that. Go AZ Cards. Going old school. Good morning. Hey, good morning to you. Go AZ Cards. Appreciate you. However, not in a rush for Eliminator. Go AZ Cards. Ran into the buzzsaw. I have to say, it is probably better to lose 205 to 80 than 205 to like 180. It's you were probably in trouble, but yeah, I do hear you. There's going to be a lot of people in your shoes next week. Hopefully not myself, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Joel, GM to you. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out this morning. Good morning. B. Grandy, good morning to you as well. Thanks for coming in, stopping by. Jake Vinegar as well. Good morning to you, Jake. Good morning. Let's not stand on ceremony. Let's hop into a main BR. A couple notes from yesterday's practice reports. Things a little weird in New York with the Jets. We had Tyrod Taylor was sort of expected to be the starter. They never formally announced it, but all the beat reporters said that they were making a switch. Tyrod Taylor showed up on the injury report. And so we'll see. They may be forced back into Fields. Fields apparently had not heard the owner's comments about, the quarterback play, which really threw Fields under the bus. For a guy who signed Fields to a fairly nice contract, it was very strange for the coach to come out and do that. And Fields is an extremely professional player. I mean, he's always won over the locker room wherever he's gone. Has never had any sort of controversy. Just seems that I'm aware of. Seems like a good guy. So would love to see things work out for him, but he may get another crack. Bengals defense, not one we're afraid of. So we'll see what we get. I would love to see more Fields, and selfishly because I have large Justin Fields bags in all formats of best ball. So we'll see what we can get. Hey, Gunnar Ross, GM to you. I see you in the streets frequently in the dog bowl streets. We will run a between 2 and 3 dog bowls, I'm sure, on stream today. But we're just going to start off with we're just going to start off easy. I'm going to try to be better about the time codes. All right. Let's see. All right. We got them going. So I see some friends in the room. We got B Grandy at the 3, and I think that's it. But if you're in here, please let me know. Hey, Keith, GM to you. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out. We are in a main BR. We're in a main BR. I've tried to do a little bit more of the Wildcats off stream. It's just a much more friendly payout structure. The main BR is pretty brutal. I mean, obviously we're all playing for the 40K up top, but the payout drop off is extremely steep. Now they've actually, in order to keep, I'll just take Bijan. In order to keep the top at 40K, this contest is a little smaller. It used to be top 100 paid five figures. So now it's 75th place, as 500. 75th is 500, 76 to 100 is 250, 200th is $100, and then beyond goes down. It is pretty tough to finish 201st out of 48,000 and just end up with $50. Like it is a very difficult payout structure to turn a profit consistently in if you're not spiking like a top 10 over the course of the season. And it adds up. It's expensive to max it. So trying to do a little more bankroll management, trying to do a few more wildcats, but obviously we're all chasing the main BR. So I'll probably do mostly main BRs on stream, and off stream do the single entries and the wildcat stuff. Although if anyone wants me to do a wildcat because they're going to play that, I'm happy to hop in those as well. Hey, good for you, Keith. Pick'em's got my DB funds up. That's awesome. I tend to find the opposite. When I waltz into the Pick'em streets, it is just benefiting the community. I think I've only ever played Pick'ems in champion states, which is more like pari-mutuel, I think. So I truly just giving back to the community at large. Wasting your 101s on BRs, save for DBQs. Go AZ cards. You do not know my level of tilt in my RNG this week. It is absolutely awful. I'll go over that after this BR because I have no one to vent to. But I have run ice cold in the top threes. I've run absolutely ice cold. All right, we got Bijan here. I like some of the later tight ends, but I don't want to end up with like no Tyler Warren exposure. We'll do Warren, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, limited practice, but I feel like a limited practice on a Wednesday in a game they absolutely must win. I would be pretty stunned if Jackson didn't play. So we're taking some Lamar Jackson. We're in on that. Not really afraid of the Bears defense. They got to pull out all the stops or they're cooked. Steven GM chat. Hey Steven, GM to you. Appreciate you coming in. Jake's in the Wildcat streets. Yeah, I will be running those as well. And so I'm sure I'll see you in there. Greg GM all. Appreciate you, Greg, fellow long-suffering Dolphins fan. Proud of the Dolphins avatar that you're rocking. Man, it is. We're nearing paper bag on the head levels, Greg. I mean, I don't know if you saw Tua's latest comments about not throwing to Waddle because he can't see over the offensive and defensive line. It's like, why is Kyler Murray's inner monologue coming through to his head? Like, what's going on? What are we even doing here? Embarrassing stuff for our multi-guerrillion dollar quarterback that we're stuck with for the next 3 years. I feel like salary caps in the NFL are kind of fake. Like every time you hear a team's in cap hell, it somehow like works out for them. Like apparently the Saints are supposedly not being able to like afford gas for their plane because they're in such bad cap situation, and yet it doesn't seem to matter. So I don't know, but we'll see. I don't actually know the inner workings of the Tua deal, but I know we're stuck with him for a while. Tua needs to stop talking. Yes. Tierra's, hey, GM to you, mushing short QBs. It wasn't a problem until now. It's suddenly like a problem. I don't know. I do not know what's going on. All right, I'll do a Zay Flowers. I'll do a Zay Flowers team. And I like Scatabo. I think I prefer Javonte this week. I know this is a Scatabo channel, but this is also a open and honest channel. 2 more running backs are going to go. Let's do a Zay Flowers, Lamar Jackson. That's going to be pretty common. If you want to switch that up and you want to take a Bateman, even in the 6 persons, I wouldn't get too fussed. You know, Bateman showed some spike week upside. I think you could click on him. I don't know how much Bateman I'm going to get to, but if you want to get super chalky everywhere else, and then instead of Flowers, do Bateman, you could certainly do worse than that, I think. And then I don't know if we're going to even end up with a bear on the other side of this, but I really don't think we have to. So this team so far is Lamar, Bijan, Javonte, Flowers, and Warren. I'll pull the rest. I didn't have the board up, so you all can't see what's going on. B. Grandy, he goes CMC, London, Saquon, Olave, Knicks. That makes sense there. We'll see how he ends the lineup. He needs a tight end over on his team. Greg says, how's no one telling this guy's completely burying himself every time he opens his mouth? Yep. It's fine, though. I got my Sundays back. Nice little tea time book, says Greg. Hey, Greg, that's awesome, man. I have not played golf. I don't think I played golf this whole season. I think this was one of the first years in a very long time I did not make it out. I'm trying to remember. No, and now winter is coming, so I don't think I'm going to play golf this year. Kind of sad. Kind of sad to be honest there. AJ Brown would be a big fall. He tends to go drafted. I do like T Higgins. He's kind of a fun play. We'll take a cheeky Tez Johnson share. There's a few different options we could go. There's a lot of in the 6 persons. There's a lot of good scrolls. I'll do a Tez Johnson. He was running most of the routes. Where they're not going to have Evans. I don't think they're going to have Godwin. Bucky's still out. Igbuka, he was limited again at practice. He didn't quite look himself. It was hard to tell. I mean, I'm sure they game planned on having Evans a lot, and everything gets thrown in flux when you have one of those very serious mid-game injuries. So I'm willing to see the vision on Tez, not just in dog bowls, but even in these 6 persons as a scroll to a guy who's not going to be owned super high. So we got Lamar Jackson, Bijan, Javonte, Zay Flowers, Tez Johnson, and Tyler Warren. Hey, Knight says GM. Says, I'm not a New Balance guy. Are you? A6 all the way. I'm deciding if I want to tell like a strange and embarrassing story. Anyway, my wife got me when I had said when I found out I was going to be a dad, I really wanted the dad shoes. Like I didn't want to have the dad shoes without being a dad, and I'm finally going to be a dad. So one of my friends gets me a gift certificate to the New Balance store, and I go and they have the 608s, the like classic dad shoe. And for some reason, my size, I couldn't like figure out what size I was supposed to wear. Because it was like a variant of like 2 full foot sizes versus like wide versus narrow. It was like the most unpleasant experience. I'm like trying on multiple different shoes. I settled on one. I still don't even know if I got the right size. I was so in my head. I don't know what happened there, Night Fiend. I don't know why I told that story, but anyway, I had a nightmare in the New Balance store. It was full of anxiety, but the shoes do look great. They're very crispy. Steven, I was going to ask you about Tez, Diggs, and Wandale for a scroll, and you took Tez. I think they're all live. I think they are. I think they're all fine. I'm a touch cooler on Wandale. I think Slayton returned to limited practice. Yeah, returns to practice. So I do think I do still like Wandale, but I don't. The role he could lose a little bit of target share. So I don't know. I also, if my vague recollection is that like Philly's good against like slot receivers, although Wandale, they didn't just use him strictly as a slot like they used to when it was Neighbors and Slayton. So I don't know. I think Wandale's fine. It's a long way of saying that. I'm Nike Monarch man. I am open. I am Nike Monarch curious. I just haven't gotten there to need 2 dad shoes, but I absolutely would do that. Although, maybe there is a 608 versus a Monarch Shizm. And I've already made my choice. I have to find that out. Hokas are the way to go. I've never tried on a pair, but I'm not opposed to it. I'm not like a big shoe guy. I don't want to misrepresent things. Things happen. Yeah, it was very stressful night. I'm glad I got to share that. I feel better. Get the larger side. Your feet will swell and your body expand. The shoe is a precursor. Yeah, I guess that's true. Terrence. I'm not getting any younger. Might as well get the one for my big old foot that's just ever expanding. Steven says that sort of rules Wandale. I don't want to FUD Wandale like heavily, but I don't know if I feel like Slayton would kind of assume Slayton would be out. At least I did, and he returned. And so I think that might change things. If you're between a few guys and you're looking for reasons to be off someone, I might do that. So did B Grandy? Yes, I thought you were going to get Evan Ingram as your last pick, and so that makes sense there to pair with Bo Nix. All right, let's do it again. I'll hop into another main BR. All right, BR1 and shoe discussion. All right, we want to be accurate. We want to be as accurate as possible on these thumbnails here. All right, BR2. We'll see. If we talk about shoes, I can add that or whatever else. I thought Nez was in the room, but it's an imposter named Nar. So there you go. We got Nar at the 6-7 turn. King Schuster at the 1. Tubin's here at the 2. So the man is everywhere. Tubin's there. And I don't think I see anyone else in here. But if you're in here, please identify yourself. You are required per the terms of service of watching a stream. You're actually not required, but I do like to know when people are in these things. So again, if you can like the stream, drop a sub, drop a like. It helps keep the lights on. It helps keep the dog bowl filled with fresh spring water versus Baltimore City tap water. We'd like to do that, but you know what? We'll do what we got to do to keep on streaming for all the people here. Again, I said I was going to look at what am I doing? Drafts completed. I guess I should have done this before that draft started. But we are running ice cold. I don't have 21 teams. I have more than that. Can you please show all my teams? It's all right. Well, maybe 26 teams. All right. And then if I look, how many Jonathan Taylor? I got 2 Jonathan Taylor. So I've rolled the one hole twice, I guess. I have 2 Christian McCaffrey, and I have 1 Bijan. So that's 5 out of 25 where I've gotten a top 3 pick. That doesn't sound as bad. I don't feel like that's as bad as I thought it was. So now I'm just like complaining about normal luck. I think I'm running a little cold, right? Don't I expect one more? Anyway, it's not as bad as I thought. It's not as bad as I thought. I'll take Jamar Chase here. I guess it just feels a lot worse. I think later yesterday I got kind of like 2 in a row in the top 3 or something like that. So maybe it evened out. It should be 12 of 25. That doesn't seem right. That's too many. I don't think that's right. Same, I got a bunch last night. All right, well, I'm glad your luck is turning around. I'm also on the clock. We got Jamar Chase. I'll take James Cook. Pretty into James Cook. It should be 1/4, right? It should be a quarter of the time. So I should have 6, and I have 5. So, all right, carry on, everyone. My RNG is normal. My RNG is normal so far. All right, so we got Jamar Chase and James Cook here. We see Nar, he goes 0 RB. I think that's more than reasonable in the 6 persons. There are 12 running backs you feel good about. If everyone takes a running back, it's not like you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. So I don't mind doing that, especially, if you want to lever off of, the CMC Taylor Bijan teams and just go, hope that that's not what you need and go to the end. I think that's fine. James Cook is kind of in a tier 1B to me. I think he's live to get a boatload of carries. A tougher run defense, but again, I think he's going to get some really good game scripts there. And then Saquon and A-Chain are, to me, a little bit of a no man's land. The one thing is that if you can beat Atlanta anywhere, it's on the ground, and A-Chain kind of is the engine of the offense. So I'm not fading A-Chain. I see a big path to failure for him if the Dolphins offense is just like complete and utter garbage. But again, if the game is competitive at all, it could be just another big A-Chain game. Shouldn't 50% of your, oh, you know what, Jake, I'm talking about the dog bowl. I'm talking about the dog bowl where it's 12-person drafts. That's what I was complaining about. So that's I think that was the confusion there. Oh, I pulled that up before. All right, we're back on the clock. We got Cook and Jamar Chase. All right, let's do George Kittle. I like George Kittle a lot. I think better days. Yeah. Sorry about that, Jake. That was dog bowl. That was a dog bowl specific issue. All right, we'll take Kittle. I think better days could be ahead for him against Houston this week. National Tight End Day. You gotta think that they make George Kittle highly involved. Now, Rachaad White has now moved into pretty much drafted every draft territory. I think that's fine. I'll take I'll take a Rachaad White share here, and then maybe we'll try to build something a little different at QB and receiver. I'll forego the elite quarterbacks. I think that's fine. Maybe an argument that I should take Lamar at 20 because he will likely rise as that Q tag dissipates. But I feel like we just kind of did a Lamar team, so wanted to keep that up. Kittle, the only guy out there celebrating tight end day. It's a lot. Oh. Yeah, last week should have been National Tight End Week, and we had that right on the channel. That was one thing we absolutely got right. We talked about how many tight ends were in good spots, and so I feel. And someone even said, "Oh, it's National Tight End Day next week," and I didn't let that stop me. Terrence, Cooks could see loaded boxes. Bills don't have anyone to fear besides Cook and Allen. I mean, it's possible. It's definitely possible, but I feel like the threat of Allen, and just the volume in the fact that whether it's somehow Bryce Young was at practice and like not limping, I think, or he was, I can't remember, was he on the practice? He was on the field. They showed him he wasn't wearing a boot. Now, either way, either if it's him or Dalton, Andy Dalton, I'm definitely going to see some short field turnover stuff. Carolina will probably be more successful running the ball than Buffalo. Yes, yeah, you can run on Buffalo. I just sometimes think we overrate these defenses. Like, there's not a lot of offenses in the league like Buffalo. There's not a lot of quarterbacks in the league like Josh Allen who present so many problems. I'm a little more bearish on Carolina's ability to stop Buffalo than maybe some of the market is crediting them. And Knight says Young was on the field but didn't practice. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because I wasn't 100% sure. All right, we need a wide receiver. We need a wide receiver here. All right, you know what? If we're going to zag. Everyone's saying you can run on Buffalo. Maybe Tet McMillan, if it is Andy Dalton, I think Tet McMillan could be in line for a lot of targets in that game. Yeah, Bills' run defense is a sieve. They certainly have given up some big rushing games to not necessarily the most elite running backs every time. All right, and let's take a guy that's not taken in many drafts. Let's do Brock Purdy. Houston's defense is not really a joke. But in worst case scenario, if for some reason Purdy doesn't play, we'll get Q tagged into like Baker Mayfield or Daniel Jones. That seems pretty good. I don't think a lot of people are going to do Purdy Kittle in the 6 persons. So if I can get a very low owned Brock Purdy, that's something I'm going to be interested in despite a quote unquote bad matchup. So this team ends up being Purdy, Cook, Rachaad White, Jamar Chase, Tet McMillan, George Kittle. I feel like this is kind of a fun team. A little bit different, but I don't think it's too bad. Let's see what Tubins did. Tubins, we know he's a good drafter. Jonathan Taylor, Emeka Egbuka, Romo Tunze, Javonte Williams, and then Bo Nix and Fannin. So he doesn't unstack Nix, but it is opposite Javonte there. Makes the Fannin bet. Maybe a little bit of steam. I've heard a little bit of rumblings on the Njoku potentially getting traded. I think he was back at limited practice. Which, I think would be a net negative if Njoku comes back, but perhaps not enough to make the Fannin bet one we don't want to make. I mean, he seems like he can exist. Him and Njoku can coexist peacefully the way they use them both on the field somewhat frequently. So, all right, that was a fun draft. Let's see what the dog bowl's looking like. All right, waiting for 2. We'll wait for that. So all the bum hunters, let's you come on in. And it's snap fills. Y'all were waiting like sharks. If you're waiting like sharks, at least drop a like on the stream. Oh my gosh, and we got the 2-hole. So now we're going to be running at expectation. This is incredible stuff. So let's see who we got. We got Tubins at the 5. Gunnar Ross, our friend, at the 8. Dan, one of the good ones there. He rolls a 12. So let's see. Rolls the box cars at the craps table there. All right. Greg, one of these weeks, a QB has to break the slate. I assume inherently in this is an elite QB that we were expecting, and you don't mean like Bo Nix last week who broke the slate. But yes, I think we are definitely overdue for like an Allen, Hurts, Lamar kind of slate breaker, because we really haven't gotten that from the QBs, from the elite QBs yet. Terrence, people should be rooting for Carolina and convincingly, so Bills go get a wide receiver. When the Waddle trade rumors were swirling, I said, like, as a Dolphins fan, Waddle and Buffalo would be so dark. We'll take Bijan at the 2. And Davis Maddock assured me that wouldn't happen and that Buffalo was going to stand pat. So I will hope that he is correct, and he is someone whose opinion I have a great deal of respect for. So I hope he's right, because I do not, as a Dolphins fan, a long-suffering Dolphins fan, I don't really want to see Buffalo improve, but I think they really could use a wide receiver. Yeah, tier at 6, Carolina can win. I mean, sure, it's the NFL. Like, we see upsets. I'm just, I don't know. Bills off a bye. I think this is one of those cases maybe where fantasy is kind of coloring us, because we saw, Rico Dowd. Like, they're very, like, for being kind of a bad team, they've been oddly fantasy relevant. So I don't know, but we'll see. And if a team is capable of choking in a spot we all think they're going to win, it's definitely Buffalo. We've seen it before. Hey, Brian the Goober, GM everyone, GM to you, Brian. Brian last night had a great stream on G for Gumby's channel. Brian attempted to launch a coup. It was unsuccessful, but he did gain many supporters in the channel. And Brian, thank you so much for coming in. That was a fun stream. Did a couple dog bowl drafts. I would definitely recommend going and checking out that channel, checking out Brian's stuff over there. If Waddle goes to Buffalo, I quit. Me too, Greg. I will be absolutely devastated. I'll be absolutely devastated to see Waddle in what do they call? Is it called Buffalo Blue? Do they have their own shade of blue? I don't even know. It's don't get me started on the Bills. I'm a big Bills hater, but I holster it because the Bills have a lot of because Bills fans watch streams too. So I don't want to alienate any fans living in the Toronto area. All right, let's see what we got. We got Dan. He takes Josh Allen and Javonte Williams. So Josh Allen's still the first QB off the board, even with Jackson returning to practice. I thought there was a chance we'd see Lamar flip Allen. That has not borne out yet, but there's still a few days left. Chris Olave at pick 14 to cut Cutler. That is a little bit notable. I don't think I've seen Chris Olave go anywhere near that. Rachaad White, of course, at pick 11 is a massive change from when he was literally going around pick 34, 35 when this contest opened. So a little disconcerting here. I know Cutler's a good drafter, but there are literally going to be teams that probably have this combination, like with a first round pick. What is Olave's ADP is 26. So I don't know I don't think I love this. I feel like you're reaching for a guy and you're picking a guy that's steamed up. So I'm just afraid you're not even getting like the uniqueness value from the pull up there. But hey, Cutler, good drafter. So I'm sure they have something in mind. All right, let's see. We're coming back up. We got Bijan here. Brian can only take one running back. There's a few running backs I'm okay on. So if there's a receiver I want, I should probably just grab them. I mean, it is tempting to do Waddle, Bijan, and just play like one giga game environment. We could do that. I don't necessarily love that. Romo Dunze against Baltimore. It's fine. It's fine, I guess. J.K. Dobbins versus Dallas. Dallas is a bit of a run funnel, although J.K. Dobbins' usage is like not the most comfy thing in the world right now. I'll take Dobbins. Swift showed up on the injury report again. Kyle Monangai is like not eating his lunch, but he's starting to like steal like a couple grapes from it, which is like a little concerning. So we'll do J.K. Dobbins. Brian, he goes Ojunze Flowers. Waddle's still there, kind of making eyes across the table here. It's tough. It's tough. This is a tough spot. I don't know if I love Devonta here. Tet McMillan. I feel like I'm just rambling names. All right, we'll do the Waddle thing. Let's do Bijan Waddle. We'll play the game environment. Worst case scenario, this does open Tua as our last pick because Tua is generally going undrafted. I don't really love it. I don't necessarily love the Tua stuff, but they did lose Waller, who was heavily involved. I mean, this could just be a monster target game for Waddle. So I'll pull the board up so you can see what other folks are doing here. Brian noting the Olave pick has to be a star method one. It's odd. It's odd, right? Like that. I don't really understand it, but maybe it is a game stack, obviously. So I mean, the star method thing is certainly possible. I feel like I would not be shocked if Baker's there to see them go Baker Tez and just they're like, I'm going to build the Giga game stack. And if maybe that's what you want, then this is the way you got to do it. You're at the 11 hole. You're finding ways to beat the elite running backs. You got to get different. So that's my prediction that Cutler is going to go Tez Baker. We'll see. I know it's a football channel, but ESPN just broke that Chauncey Billups, the Blazers coach, and oh wow, Chauncey Billups arrested too. Yeah, the Terry Rozier stuff's crazy. There were some damning clips going around the the Everything app showing like Terry Rozier like making plays so bad that they're like this almost to seem intentional. If you can't find the highlight reel of Terry Rozier, throwing the ball to his opponents, like airballing stuff, like not just like one or two plays, but multiple plays in a game that were very odd. No, not Chauncey. I do have to say, as a old school Miami Heat fan, I hated those Chauncey Billups Pistons teams. So I'm not too sad to see Chauncey Billups go down. That said, I don't want to see anyone like go to jail. Like that's not cool. Like you can make so much money legit. You're like a celebrity. Like how much money could you possibly be getting down in this gambling scheme? FF Chef, remember when Rozier benched himself so he wouldn't hit the over? There's been instances. You're right, though. That was a famous one. All right, so Cutler did take Baker. Let's see. Did we pull a Paul Atreides? Did we glimpse into the future and see what Cutler's doing? Is Cutler listening to the channel and just gleaning all this wonderful alpha? Who knows? But we'll see if he takes Tez Johnson. Then we did pretty good here. How great is it when the wife makes you breakfast? Omelet, sausage, avocado. Hey, Chris, you are living through the golden age. So I hope you're enjoying it. But that's awesome. That sounds like a fantastic breakfast. And he does take Tez Johnson. My God. As Han Solo once said, sometimes I amaze even myself. But no, it did start to, once we thought about why you would do White Olave, this did start to make some sense. So very interesting. If it works out, it's on stream, and so we'll feel we can reach out to Cutler and see if he wants to to I don't know, collaborate or something. It's poker. It will resolve itself. Yeah, I obviously have not been up on that. I just saw the Rozier stuff. Not basketball good, but it does not look good. Yeah. It is unfortunate. Terrence, I thought it was game rigging related. People know rich people play poker. Yeah, I'd be poker scandal in 2025 feels like such a non-story. Like we just like don't care anymore about that. All right, Danny Jones goes, time to lock in. We're almost up. We are almost up here. We got Dak and Drake May. We're not in the world's greatest spot as far as quarterback. I really do not want to make it to a team. Rashid Shaheed's fine. Obviously, spike week guy. We talked about Wandale earlier. I'm cool on that. This is a spot where I do like a little bit of I like a Tez Johnson here. I could take Mooney, not really in love with that. I almost wonder if this is just like a take Drake May here. I don't think we're going to do that. I actually think I'm going to take Kyle Pitts. Maybe we'll do Pitts and then make this into a Penix team. And then we don't have to totally dumpster dive for a wide receiver if we take one here. Although this is, I mean, we're already in the dumpster, right? Rashid Shaheed, Wandale, Garrett Wilson, who's not playing. I don't think I want Mooney and going for a like Falcons triple, because I feel like I'll get cucked by Drake London, Troy Franklin, Juwan Jennings. I feel like of all these names, I'm kind of intrigued by Juwan Jennings, back at practice, left for dead, ADP of 68, not taken. Let me see where the Drake London guy is. Drake London guy doesn't have a quarterback, which is a little bit alarming, because that could screw us. So I think we're gonna just. I hate to take Penix here, but if somebody takes Jennings, then we'll just figure something else out. This is not ideal, taking Penix at this point, I don't think. But to me, the Bijan Pitts, I think I'm telling myself a story where I'm going to be overstacking the Falcons. And if I don't get Penix here, I'm going to be more upset about not getting Penix than I will about not getting Juwan Jennings. So let's lock that up and see what we can see. All right. Go Easy Cards. Did you watch the Halloween Scatabo store card? The Halloween Scatabo store cartoon? I have not, but I think, was this the Bleacher Report thing? I will have to check that out. Chad knows ball confirmed. Well, Chad, I appreciate you, Brian. Just try to figure out what people are doing. And I try to do that during drafts, just to see if I'm locked in, and then when people do something different, it helps kind of like expand the mind and looking at things I hadn't considered, like if they took that a different direction. Chris, I'm living the dream, watching the early morning best ball stream, working, eating a healthy, hearty breakfast, prepared by your wife. I mean, my goodness, you are, Chris. I'm happy for you, man. That is fantastic. Fan 3. Hey, early morning Penix is the new life for Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier in prison. Oh man, brutal stuff there. Appreciate you, Fan Speak, coming in and hanging out. But yeah, it is not good when the FBI is investigating your gambling. You're probably in some trouble. 1.1 problems. Are we sorry, Go Easy Cards. I missed that. I missed the reference there. All right, let's see what Tubins has got going. He's got A-Chain, Warren, Kamara, Danny Jimes, Alec Pierce. That makes sense there. The London drafter, he took Cade Otton. So he has a little Tampa stack, but no Baker. I think that's more than fine. We'll be curious to see what quarterback he lands on, if he does Stroud or if he has a different plan. Nico Collins, I don't think he's going to play, so maybe he's just playing the Q-Tag game. So it could be that he doesn't stack him, maybe he does a Rattler across from the Tampa stuff. Not really sure. So Cutler, interesting way to end the team. I like the Troy Franklin click. I've been mixing him in. And then Gunnar Helm, not 100% drafted guy, but his snap count is increasing. Likely to be in a good game script. So don't mind that stuff. Tubins is going to take a receiver. Boomer Wins could take a receiver. So we're going to see at least one receiver go off the board before us, which leaves us with, again, Darnell Mooney. If we want to do an Atlanta triple, just totally overstack the Falcons and say the Falcons win by 1,000. Or we go Juwan Jennings. Who I think he had a full practice. I don't think he had any kind of let me see if I can pull this up in time. The Niners practice report. Yeah, he was full practice on Wednesday, so he should be good to go. A little scared of Stingley. Boomer wins. He takes Mooney, so he takes that off the board anyway. So this is going to end with Juwan Jennings. That's fine. Save me from myself for making a Penix triple stack there. I do like Juwan Jennings at this low ownership here. So we will wait for Atran to select his tight end, and we'll take Jennings. Pearsall will not play. You are right. Yeah, I'm with you, Brian. Where are the eliminator matchups? This is a huge threat to the stability of the underdog community. We need them. I'm with you. I don't know what's going on. Nav Candles could get 300 subs, 30 like. Hey, I'm with you. The road to 300 subs. We are on it. Let's get there. Let's get there. At least let's get to 275 today. One new sub. Jasta, GMTU. Appreciate you coming by, hanging out. I see you frequently in these Dog Bowl streets. Okay, we did only have 6 likes. That would have been sad. That would have been sad there. Had to refresh. All right. That is good. Yeah, no Pearsall. No Pearsall, I think, is Kittle back. I mean, obviously, you could read that how you want. Is that going to take away targets, or is that just going to like make the offense better? I like Jennings. I think he's kind of nice at pick 71 in these. Houston's no joke. Houston presents problems, but when you're dumpster diving in round 6, taking a guy like that with no ownership, I kind of like. Terrence loves Kate Otten. Probably more a DK play. I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like Kate Otten is certainly live in these. I actually think he gets taken in the 6 person sometimes too. So I think he's fine in most of these formats with how depleted Tampa's pass catchers are. He's also live to just like run a bunch of cardio and not do anything, but he's definitely in play. We saw last year when they were super banged up, he had some like eruption games late in the season. 275 is easy. I'll just get my wife to stop. Perfect. She already made you a hearty breakfast. Now she's just gonna like this sweaty best ball stream. But I appreciate you, Chris. Yeah, if anyone else, get whoever you can get them this up. Nothing is advanced. Waiting on the second Q finals. You hate to see it. They were too busy with NBA. NBA started, and we're all just chopped liver here. All right, so that was a fun draft. I'll hop in another main BR if anyone wants to get in those. Let's get in that. What are we at? 40 to 45. All right. Yeah, I like the way that team. I like the way that team closed out. I actually meant to review a couple teams before I clicked over, but you can't look at draft boards. This is waiting for 5. So if anyone wants to get in this one, get on in. I did all my drafts Tuesday. Biggest regrets not taking Ibuka in the 20s and not taking enough Rashad in the 3rd. Otten gets taken a lot more in the 6th. Yeah, Josta, I took a lot of Rashad. I do have to say I was on that pretty early, and I was also on the right side of the board a lot, so I got a fair amount of 3rd round Rashad White. I was pretty sure that Bucky was not playing this week, just based on his Instagram comments, making it sound like he was, struggling to survive. So we will see. We will see, Chasta. But I don't think I got enough Ibuka. I probably would have liked a little more of him as well. Yes, Stephen Otten. I've seen Otten get taken in the 6-mans, and honestly, I've taken Otten myself in the 6-man. So I know I'm part of the problem. Mike Rob rolled through the fan speak burners and hit the likes. Oh my gosh! Hey, thanks, Mike. You are truly appreciated. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for helping with the likes and the subs. It means a lot. Terrence, Chad, you are a delight in the morning. One of the most pleasant people in the space. Hey, Terrence, that means a lot. Thanks so much for coming out. Thanks so much for hanging out. And it's easy to be a delight when y'all are so much fun to hang with. So thank you. Thank you. Hard to believe you're a practicing attorney. Yeah. Oh no, I know. It's why I'm doing this, and I'm not in the sweaty legal minds, because this is much more pleasant. Hey, thanks, Brian. Appreciate you. When are the Matchup pods coming out. King Schuster, you're asking the question on all our minds. We don't know. Yesterday, I mean, as far as I know, Wednesday is National Eliminator Pod Celebration Day every week. And it was canceled abruptly without warning. In fact, they didn't even tell us it was canceled. Just the clock struck midnight and Wednesday ended. So I don't know. I mean, they have to come out. They have to come out before the game starts, right? Like, isn't that kind of like a hard deadline? So hopefully we get to see who we play. You know, you would imagine it's in their interest to get it out early to get buzz. Like, people talk about this on Twitter. You know, it's just like free. We're doing like so much free advertising for Underdog, just discussing this contest. It's such a content it just the content creates itself. I would think they would want this as soon as possible. King only has Kyron missing from week 8 bye. Oh, that's fortunate. That is fortunate. I know I'm on Raw is my main one, which is bad because my wide receiver room is like grim, and I have Garrett Wilson injured, so we're gonna need to run into someone else with some serious bye week injuries over with my team. She subbed, called me an idiot. Yes. Well, thank you. I hope, you know, I appreciate you using some spousal capital to help boost my sub numbers. It means a lot. Tell her thank you. I appreciate it. All right, this is a solid room. We got Josta 29 in here. Dom Money 8888. Gosh, that's one of you all. Is that Mike? Is that new Mike Rob? I think so. Gosh, I apologize. I always get these messed up. All right, I'll take James Cook. We're gonna be really boring. I'll just go Cook A-Chain at this turn. Are you a licensed attorney? Yes, believe it or not, Chris. I am actually an attorney. Yeah. This is not legal advice. This is not even really fantasy advice either. So don't, I suppose I should add that to the disclaimer. You know, this is not legal, financial, or fantasy advice. Mike Rob, it is. Okay, perfect. I thought so. All right, so we got Cook and A-Chain Josta. He's got Lamb and Henry and Mike over here. He's got CMC. Very nice. Very nice start there. All right, Josh Allen, first QB off. Dear God. All right. It's a good thing it's not turning into like cold and flu season for my kid at daycare. I'm sure they all got all the colds out of their network in July and August when you're not supposed to be getting colds. All right. Me too. If you want some leads on at-home legal work, DM me on this Discord. Hey, Chris, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's it can be tough out there in the legal streets, but I have to say we are not the most sympathetic people. Nobody feels bad for an attorney ever. So it's like, I don't like to advertise I'm a lawyer because it's like, oh, he got sniped. Good. I hope you lose everything. I want people to be rooting for me at the dog bowl, right? And then it's like, no, this guy doesn't need to win. It's a terrible attorney. But you know what? We're this is our true passion is hanging with all of you, doing the in the fantasy minds here. And we got James Cook, we got A-Chain. Jalen Hurts is here. Hurts. I don't have a lot of Hurts AJ Brown. I really do like Hurts Devonta, which is going to be less owned. But I don't think I have much Hurts AJ Brown, so I don't want to end up with none of this. This is kind of like a natural, obvious pairing. So we will do that. King, how far do you make it in Eliminator and ask opponent to chop? I think for me, I would imagine the final table of 3. I can't imagine it because I think it's just too messy past that. But I don't know. That's a good question. I had to consider that, but it is sort of like a poker, like reaching the final 3 of a poker table. That could definitely, you could definitely see something like that happen. but isn't part of the eliminator sweat. It's like, well, we made it this far. Let's see where it goes. I don't know. Mike says, yeah, nothing to worry about with kid sickness and daycare and Halloween coming up. Yeah, definitely. We're definitely in the upswing, Mike. Definitely not going to bring home any new colds. So I'm feeling optimistic. I'm putting in the billables right now. Yes. Week 16 chop might be okay. Yeah, because what is it? There's there'd be 6 people, I guess, because you end with 3 and half are gone. So 6 people. Yeah, I guess you could do that. You know, if you and your opponent wanted to chop and then say, we'll split what you get next. I don't know. I'm sure people will be trying to work out things in that case, because it is like a much more clean, it's like the most clean opportunity to chop we've seen, like in underdog games, right? Like I don't even think the big elim or the eliminator last year isn't the final like kind of bigger, but yeah, I suppose you could. Mike says, yeah, I chop early and lose. What's the other guy from chopping once again? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll let, people can work out. I would imagine they can work out whatever they wanted to. All right, we got Hertz, Cook, A-Chain, AJ Brown. We need a tight end. Like Kate Otten here, he's certainly live. We just discussed him. I think I'll take, did Pitts already go? Did I miss that? No, Pitts didn't go. I'll take Kyle Pitts here. Not necessarily even because we're opposite A-Chain, but I do like Kyle Pitts as a scroll tight end. That seems kind of nice. And then, I'm between Pittman and Higgins. I'll do a Pittman share. I have a little bit of Pittman in the BR, and I don't mind him here. Tennessee's defense is so bad. We'll take a little bite on that apple. Go AZ cards though. Yeah, you're going to run into people that goes to AZ cards. You say, screw the chop. That's whatever if you're in the finals. Yeah. I mean, there is an argument that you're playing the eliminator with the hope to getting the finals. So why would you kind of like short circuit that at the very end? It sort of just depends like what your risk tolerance is, I think, for people. Also, but the final's not too bad, right? It's not like super duper top heavy. I would agree with the chop the person on week 16 pod. One of us guaranteed minimum 66K. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that would agree to that, and hopefully the pods come out more than like an hour before the game, so you can talk about it. So I actually think, and I'll go over everyone's team in a second. I think the eliminator, what they should have done was just make a gigantic bracket, because that's what it is, right? In essence. And then ahead of time, just RNG it. There's a huge bracket. And unlike March Madness with 4, you'd have three huge regions, right? Because it's a 3-person final. So everything's funneling into that one. And then you could even look ahead at who you're playing. Maybe, I guess, they can't do it because they have to reseed so you don't play yourself. I'm wondering if they have to do that on the fly. So maybe they can't. And maybe it's too hard to figure out ahead, like the people who are 150 maxing, maybe making sure they run into each other as late as possible. So I guess that's why they don't do it. Maybe I just talked out why they can't do a gigantic bracket. But it would be cool. It would be cool to see it. Yeah. Okay, Josh. See, I got there, Josta. I had to talk it out. Why they couldn't do it, but I got there. You got there ahead of me, but it would have been fun. All right, let's see what the good people in the draft did. Josta, he goes Lamb, Henry, Olave, Rashad White, Ferguson, and Caleb. I kind of like this because you don't see much unstacked Caleb. Caleb opposite Henry. Caleb with a little bit of rushing upside. I don't mind doing this because I think this is kind of a high total game in a team we think is going to be pushed, and then you don't have to like tack on a pass catcher. So I think this is a sharp team from Josta. Let's see what Mike Robb did. The rare 1-3-3, 1-1. You know what I mean? The 3 wide receiver team: CMC, Drake London, Lamar Jackson, Romo Odunze, Zay Flowers, and the fan in bet. So he builds the Jackson Odunze Flowers game stack, and then adds on a few different pieces. that we expect to be high scoring. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I like the team there from Dom Money, and a little bit different than the normal 2 running back meta that we see. Nothing, Go Easy Cards, nothing you hear on this channel is legal, financial, or good advice. Go Easy Cards. So please, please, just bear that in mind. Is that a rule you can't play against yourself? I believe so. I mean, I'm sure mathematically there'd be a point where if somehow you were the last 4 teams, you'd have to, if somebody ran unbelievably well, but I'm fairly sure that they have it coded in to where you can't play yourself unless it was like necessary. I thought I heard that somewhere. But yeah. So yeah, my giant bracket idea is out the window, sadly. All right, let's see what a dog bowl's at. Let's see if we can't get another one in. Waiting for 4. All right, we'll wait for 4. We'll wait for 4. 50. GPQ2. Awesome. All right. But waiting for 2. All right. Sounds like probably got a couple of you in here. Appreciate everything. Appreciate the likes. Appreciate the subs. It is we're on the road to 300. Let's see. And that would be a fantastic place to get to. Waiting for 1. You could fill this wonderful DBQ. Let's see what we get in here. I thought it was about to fill, and it didn't. Let's see. Oh, all right, we're good. What pick? I'm guessing we got pick 5. I don't know why. I'm getting 5 vibes. No, pick 2. All right. We are so back. We got pick 2 here. And yeah, we're off. I have an idea for a 2-hole team that I think everyone's going to hate, but I might try it here. Spoilers. I might try something here. This could be a waste, but I have an idea in my head, and I don't want to say what it is ahead, but we're going to see if we can't do it. But we got some good friends in the room. We got Dan here at the 4. We got Gunnar Ross at the 7. Go AZ Cards at the 8. Buster's Boys, we'll keep an eye on him. Very good drafter there in at the 9. And then Fifth Handed sniped me brutally yesterday. Patrick Barnes YouTube says sniped me brutally in the past. They are all the way on the right side of the board, all the way pushed over here. So maybe this is our karmic reward, getting the 2-hole while they are exiled to the back of the classroom over there. But you know what? They're in the back. There's lunch and spitballs at the front. They're having fun. So, we'll see. We'll see what those hooligans over on the right side of the board get up to. But we've got Bijan at the 2. Giant bracket as soon as nobody has more than 3 active entries. There we go. See? Now we're talking. I don't know why they couldn't do that. And then you hype up the bracket. You turn it into, people love brackets. It's everyone's favorite thing about March Madness. It would be nothing without the bracket. So I'm with you there, Chris. A giant bracket. Let's make it going. Let's make it go. Trade your spots. Go AC Cards. What spot are you? 8. I actually don't mind the 8. I like the 8 more when Rashad White was going in the 3rd round, because you really could get him at 32 a lot. And so you could build what felt like a pretty strong team there. Keith 1.1 NBD. Oh, Keith, gosh darn it. I always forget your name. All right, Len Keith. I should know because it's Keith is in the name. So this one shouldn't trip me up because it's you kind of telegraphed that one. All right, Keith's in at the 1. He's got Jonathan Taylor. Hey, Ingle LX, GM to you. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out. You actually brutally sniped me last night in something. Can't remember who you took, but my queue vaporized. And I think it was actually Rashad. Was it Rashad White in the 2nd? That's what it was. You took Rashad White at like pick 15, and I was in the 9-hole, and I was like, really wanted him there. So I see you there, Ingle X. No Baker in the 3rd this time, Chad. Yeah. Well, we'll see if Patrick Barnes tries to build that same, Rashad White, Olave, Tez, Baker thing. Because now that you've seen, you can Uh-oh, are we seeing it? Is he going to take Chris Olave at 14? That'd be a pretty good bit. I'm getting in on action on the giant bracket. People love the giant bracket. Yeah, no, Keith, that's awesome. I will make sure to shout your team out. A bracket can't be random. The potluck bros would go berserk. I know what you mean, but I mean it would be random, right? Like they could even make an event out of it. Once no one has more than 3 teams left, like just seed those teams that have 3 into the pods, make sure they don't play each other, and then you could even have Numi drawing names out of a hat and filling in the brackets. CBS, you'd think CBS would televise this. We're cooking here today, everyone. We're cooking. Assignment to the bracket would be random. Exactly. I mean, my goodness. I mean, we have struck content gold. The Eliminator Bracket Challenge. So Patrick Barnes YouTube, instead of having fun and taking Chris Olave, he takes Josh Allen. So there you go. So we're not going to get to see that. We're not going to get to see that team come together in the exact manner. Although, arguably, you could almost do that same team and then go Baker, Tez, and then Rashad White at 59. Rashid Shaheed at 59. He goes, well, I'm almost on the clock, so we don't have to fantasize about fake teams. Where does Shaheed go? Oh, 45. Okay, you can't even do that. Forget that. All right. We've got Bijan here. What do we want to do? Let's see what the room provides to us. Jalen Hurts would be interesting. If Jalen Hurts falls to us, I would consider that. Chris Olave goes. If we could pull off Hurts, AJ Brown, that'd be kind of fun. If Etran takes Hurts, I might pivot away from that to something else. Let's see what we get here. Etran winds the clock. He takes the full clock and then takes Rome Odunze. All right, let's do Jalen Hurts here. If Len takes AJ Brown, that's actually fine. It's not the end of the world. We could consider taking Devonta Smith. I'm fine with that. He takes Zay Flowers. I also like George Kittle. I would definitely consider George Kittle. So Len doesn't. He leaves us AJ Brown. This is going to be common here, but I don't really care. I'll take the AJ Brown thing. So we got Hurts, Bijan, AJ Brown. The plan is so far live. The plan is live for what we're going to do. All right. So what did Keith do? We kind of glossed over it. He went Jonathan Taylor, Zay Flowers, DeAndre Swift. So he builds a mini game correlation there with Flowers and Swift. High total game. I like that. Swift, of course, did crop up on the injury report, but I think it was the same groin injury he played through last week. So I don't think that's anything to be super concerned about. But although, again, Manungai is starting to nip at his heels a little. With that said, the running backs that go right after, J.K. Dobbins, his snap rate can be kind of wonky. Even Chase Brown's has been a little weird. P. Ryan was getting some base work, which isn't great, but the Jets are just so lousy that I think Chase Brown could be in for a big game for where we get him in round 3. So I like this pick from Dan. Daddy34 annoyingly takes 2 tight ends, which always just makes everything a little squirrely down the line. So he goes A-Chain, Warren, and Kittle. Last week, we almost saw a 2 tight end team ship. Was it the Wildcat or the main BR? So, maybe all these rules are going out the window, but I can't get there with the 2 tight end stuff, even in the dog bowl. Gunnar Ross, he goes Henry, Breece Hall, Jalen Waddle. I like that. Jalen Waddle, I obviously did consider with Bijan. I did that last draft. We're going to play this one a little differently. Go AZ Cards. He's got a nice game stack with this Sutton Pickens thing and adds Saquon, and that certainly makes sense. Ingo X, random thought. Do you think people add National Tight End Day into their projections? Last day it was definitely intended to get their tight ends. It was a thing last year. It definitely was a thing. I don't know. I mean, I think we're going to see some tight ends do stuff because some tight ends are just like in good matchups or have like a lot of injuries. Like if Dalton Schultz scores a touchdown, people are going to be like National Tight End Day. And it's really because, well, Nico Collins might miss the game and Christian Kirk is out. So it's like, I mean, even if it was National Fullback Day, like he's probably, the tight end's probably going to be involved to some extent. I don't know. I'm certainly not adding it into. I mean, I'm only drafting these like I'm taking one tight end, so it's like they're all kind of equally celebrating, hopefully. So we'll, that's kind of where I'm at with it. FF. Well, I missed. FF Chef tight ends rarely score more than 20 fantasy points, and they don't have enough game-breaking upside to get there even on a holiday. Yeah, I mean, the only argument I guess you could make is in a dog bowl, like 20 points per slot is like pretty much what you need, or you're close. Like you're kind of okay if you get that. You don't need to score like 200 points in these. But I still think it's too thin in there. I definitely think it's too thin in the main BR. It just seems like their ceilings are just like lower than the wide receiver ceilings. Calling it now, Lamar Flower stack wins the week if anybody gets it in the 12-man. I think people will. I haven't seen it, but you definitely could go Lamar Flowers from the back end of the draft if you wanted to. And maybe even, I'm surprised Lamar's at 19. I got him yesterday at 17 and thought he wouldn't go slip past that, and he went at 19 here. If he slides to that, I'm sure there's some drafts where you'd see Zay Flowers might make it back to him. Yeah, Ingle X did it. Lamar Flowers at 12-13, so definitely could see that. Greg, I think it dies with Kittle. The new tight ends don't have the Gronk Kittle personality. I don't know. I feel like there's some pretty fun tight ends, but I don't know. I'm kind of I think there's just a lot of tight ends in good spots. I mean, Pitts is in a great spot. Even like Jordan Mason's in a good spot. The elite tight ends are, Warren and Kittle are in decent spot. Like, I don't know. Oh, I meant specifically at the 2-3 turn. I don't think you'll see Lamar at 24, 25. I think that's going to be too hard. All right, let's see. What do we have here? I wasn't planning on doing a Hurts double with Dallas Goedert. Let's see if Atran takes Goddard. I will be taking one of Goddard or Otten here. Man, it's so thin. It's so freaking thin here. He takes Dak. So do we do a Eagles double or do we take Goddard? Or do we take Otten? I don't love Eagles doubles because if Hurts gets there, it's because he has some rushing touchdowns. But I do feel like there's a world where the Eagles want to just absolutely pound the Giants. So let's play that there. We'll take Goddard, especially National Tight End Day. They're already feeding him even when it's not National Tight End Day. And then the question is, what do we want to do at receiver or running back? Gosh, these receivers are just so grim. It's so grim. All right. I had a plan. I think I'm just going to take Ramondre here. It's a little cowardly. The wide receivers are just not good. and I'm fine just scrolling down. So we'll do Ramondre. I mean, he's irritatingly just so involved, and we all want Henderson to be a thing, and it just hasn't been a thing. So I'll take to Ramondre share there. I think just, man, wide receiver is just so bad. Just so bad. Jake, I got a GM Lamar Flowers with JT Cook in the Wildcat on Monday, so I hope this is true. Wow. JT Cook, Lamar Flowers. Yeah, no, that's a sick start there. That's a really cool start. And yeah, you probably can't get that anymore. How many more weeks will Ferguson go around later than Warren Kittle? 1? Yeah, I guess if we see it again from Ferguson, I know people were nervous with Lamb coming back that Ferguson could drop off, and he scored 2 touchdowns again. And so, yeah, I don't know. I certainly think that if he shows it again, we're just going to have to get there. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I like Ferguson again this week. Elite QB starts to feel so bad after the 4th round. Yeah, Josta, I agree. Having Hurts here does not feel amazing. Does not feel amazing. I mean, yeah, if I could do it again, would I feel better if I just had B-Rob, Flowers, AJ Brown, and then I just take a quarterback there that I'm happy with? Maybe. Kind of feels like maybe that team is going to be a lot more comfortable with whoever I get at pick 71, especially with a bunch of people going 3 wide receiver. Go AZ Cards goes 3 receiver. Buster's Boys goes 3 receiver. So the receiving pool is just very, very dry here. Ingle X Christian Kirk and play off that Q tag, I think, is a solid play. Yeah, it definitely could get in the Q tag streets. Khalil Shakir goes to Patrick Barnes YouTube. I've seen him go to some sharp drafters. Patrick Barnes YouTube took Khalil Shakir. I've seen Buster's Boys take Khalil Shakir. It's kind of opened my eyes to maybe taking him as a late round running back or late round receiver in some of my stuff where he's this draft is odd. It feels odd. I feel like my team is fine. I mean, I got a Hurts double stack, and I got Bijan and then Ramondre. I guess people's opinions may vary quite a bit on Ramondre. I don't really mind him in the 5th round. I think he's fine. But let's see. All right, let's see what Biff Tannen did. Igbuka, Scatabo, Baker, Shaheed, Moore, and Pitts. So gets Baker, Igbuka. That makes sense. Kyle Pitts, I like. Patrick Barnes YouTube takes Mason Taylor, who I do like this week. I know, not everyone's in on Mason Taylor with how bad the Jets are, but man, Cincinnati literally gave up a touchdown to every tight end on the roster of Pittsburgh. Actually, I think that's not true. I think they actually had a 4th tight end who didn't score, but they did get 3. Patrick Barnes YouTube, White, Allen, Devonta Smith, Steph Diggs, Khalil Shakir, Mason Taylor. I actually really like this team from the 12. I think he navigated the Josh Allen conundrum pretty well with Smith and Diggs there, and then a tight end I like. Go AZ Cards, Saquon, Sutton, Pickens, Wandale, Dart, and Ingram. So kind of builds a game stack with Pickens, Sutton, and Ingram, and then builds a Giants Eagles stack. So just picks 2 game environments and attacks them. I think this might be a good week to do that. Limit yourself to a couple game environments. Try to pick the 2 that are right, and then go for it. All right, we're coming back up. We are coming back up. Juwan Jennings or Alec Pierce. I like both of them. I have one other gross click. Rashad Bateman, I do think is live. I don't think you could do 2 horrible clicking Bateman with Lamar Jackson back, and nobody's going to be clicking on him. And when they do, they're going to be clicking on him with Lamar Jackson. So maybe we do that. I don't know if it's Galbrained and I should just be taking Juwan Jennings. I'm okay with either one. I think I'm gonna just take Juwan Jennings. I like the Bateman stuff. I think it's intriguing, but I just sort of see a world where Jennings gets significantly more targets than Bateman does. But I don't hate the idea of a low owned Bateman there. All right, so let's see. Go over Dan's team. Gunnar Ross, Henry, Brees Hall, Jalen Waddle, Bo Nix, Cade Otton, Marvin Mims. So he builds a Mims Nix stack. Yeah, I like this. I like this team, Gunnar Ross. I think this is pretty solid here, top to bottom. Team makes sense. Dan goes Jamar Chase, Chris Olave, Chase Brown, Danny Dimes, Rico Dowdle, Hunter Henry. Yeah, I think this is fine. You got 2 Bengals, so you're just saying that the Bengals are molly-whopping the Jets. Don't mind that. That feels like a bet I would not be upset to make. And then Keith, last but not least, Jonathan Taylor, Zay Flowers, DeAndre Swift, Dalton Schultz, Drake May, and Kayshon Boutte. Not too bad. Not too bad there. I like the team. You got the late May Booty stack there. That seems kind of nice. Booty does occasionally go, so it's nice that you were able to build that there. FF Chef, most of their Ramondre hate is just nagging priors plus 20% Travion at this point. Yeah, people just don't want him to be good. I feel like at pick 50 for how thin these drafts get, I don't mind it. It's certainly an argument that Dowdle makes sense. If you are buying the Bills being beatable through the ground, you could do worse than Rico Dowdle. But, splitting carries, Ramondre really isn't, he's splitting a little bit of carries, but he really has been the workhorse. He's really kind of been the workhorse there. Go AZ Cards, calling us now. This will be a stream draft, punches a ticket, hopefully the second for someone. Hey, I would love that. I would love Go AZ Cards if you got a second draft, especially if it was on stream. That would be super cool. There is even Stevenson hate in the Scatabo Halloween store. Nobody wants Ramondre to be a thing. Nobody wants Ramondre. Gunnar Ross looked up and Jalen Knoll and Franklin went in the 5th. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Knoll, people are taking Knoll with the injuries in Houston. It's been so long since I heard his name. I literally can't remember if it's Knoll or Noel. I think it's Knoll, but my God. Nope, Jasta, Tyrod is not going in these yet. Tyrod is not going in these. Oh, Hartman, I missed you. GM. Appreciate you coming and hanging out, Hartman. Thank you again for the support. All right, that was a fun draft. Thanks everyone who joined, and of course everyone who watched as well. I'll hop in a main PR here, get the timestamp going. All right, PR 4, and let me see. Waiting for 3 if anyone wants to get in. Don't think anyone starts right at 10. We'll probably run a couple more drafts and then I'll get on out of here. But tomorrow I know is the bigger streaming day. Everyone starts getting ready for the weekend, so I know a bunch of stuff comes on slightly earlier, but I think we're pretty clear. All right, we're waiting for 2 if anyone wants to get in. Go AZ Cards. I think I want more Stroud Schultz stacks. No Houston wide receivers and no Warner. Yeah, I guess that, right? The Warner stuff does make Schultz intriguing. My worry is that I feel like there were games last year where Schultz had, like when Tank Dell got hurt, wasn't there a game or 2 where Nico was also out and Diggs was gone? That Schultz didn't do anything. Like I just feel like I remember Schultz having like one of these like generational opportunities and then like didn't do anything. I likely need to adjust my priors. He's just been a blind spot for me. I just have trouble clicking him, but I don't know. If you're considering them Go AZ Cards, I probably should be considering them myself. All right, so we got Mr. Worth at the 1. We got Hartman at the 3. We got Keith at the 4 and myself at the 6. At the 6. Holding it down over here. But we will see. We will see what we end up with. But yeah, I was thinking about that last draft. Just taking Jalen Hurts really like sets back the wide receiver so much. I just wonder if it's. I mean, if he's the guy you need, he's the guy you need, and everyone who drafts him is in the same boat with the wide receivers getting thin. But man, it does feel like that team had an opportunity to potentially be a little bit better than it ended up with. And I don't have a lot of teams on the left side of the board, so we'll have to think about that. All right, so J-Dubs, he goes Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, CMC, so nothing out of the ordinary from the start of the draft. Let's see what we can come up with over here. I like James Cook a lot. I will likely just make this a James Cook team if Nomo doesn't take him. We just did stream a Cook A-Chain team. Let's do a Cook Henry team. We'll lock up early running back. We're going to end up with a lot of, later running backs, plenty of Rachaad White, a little bit of Judkins. Breece Hall makes me nervous that he could just get traded in the middle of the week. Like if you really want to go super mega mind genius, could you take Isaiah Davis and just hope Breece Hall's traded in the next 3 days and be the only one with Isaiah Davis? You could. If you want to spend $25 on that lotto ticket, I wouldn't tell you were crazy. But it obviously is a pretty big lotto ticket and would involve that trade being finalized in those days, and also being finalized like in the window where you get him and nobody else does. But I don't know. It is something that if you wanted to play that angle, I wouldn't say you were an idiot. I would just say you just have a high risk tolerance here. Go Easy Cards, you want a top 3 pick, but now with ADPs have shifted, those teams don't feel as strong. Yep. You used to be able to get like receivers you liked in the 5th round from the 1, 2, and 3 hole, and now all the guys you get there, I feel like, are just not as intriguing. And it wasn't even just because I took Goddard. Like I was in the same kind of range, even if I didn't snag Goddard in the 4-5 turn, it was already kind of like felt like I had to. It felt like I was scrolling and I wasn't scrolling. Like it felt like that tier of receiver where you're just like, should these guys all here be 100% owned? They all feel like mediocre dart throws in that range. So yeah, this is a very tough slate. I wonder, I hope it's not that you need one of Taylor, CMC, or Bijan to win. Like I hope there's a later running back or some wide receivers that kind of go off that enable you to have one from any draft slot and not be like you needed a top 3 pick on Monday to get there. That's not fun, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, we got Cook and Henry once again. Jalen Hurts staring us in the face here. I kind of want to do something a little different than that. All right, let's do Olave, and I don't have a ton of Ferguson. All right, let's do Olave Fergie. We'll try to. I have a concept of what I want to do. We'll see if the room lets us build the team or not. So we got Cook, Henry, Olave, and Ferguson. We'll see what comes together here. Hartman, you can win from any spot as long as Scatabo isn't going in the 1st round. I don't have a ton of Scatabo this week. I have some. I think he's a little bit maligned. I do think with Carter back, it won't quite be the same matchup. We can't expect 3 touchdowns again against the Eagles, but the usage is still really good. If they get any red zone goal line opportunities, he'll be the back that's on the field there. And I think it's also a division game, which could be very competitive. I don't know why in my mind I feel like the Eagles are going to just roll. Maybe that's wrong, and maybe what I should be doing is just like betting Eagles alt spreads, and not playing my daily games that way. Like if I want to make money on the Eagles smashing, just bet the Eagles minus 16.5. And play the daily games closer to projection. I don't know. Sometimes I think we can get a little cute with DFS, playing a DFS angle versus like just bet it. play some DFS that way, but don't make your whole week come down to something. Because you could also be right about it and you just don't play the right pieces in DFS. Just something to consider. All right, so Hartman takes Hurts there. So let's see the teams so far. I guess I'll just do my team and then I'll recap everybody's, because it's I do have to pick here. Let's see what. All right, cool. I think we're going to be able to do it. So we'll do. Oops. I could obviously take Dak. Dak would make sense, but let's do Baker Tez. Let's just do a Baker Tez team. That's kind of fun. People aren't going to be doing this in the main BR. We got Olave, so we're actually going to do a game stack. We'll do Tez, Olave, and Baker as a mini stack. We got Cook and Henry, and then Jake Ferguson. So I think it's kind of a fun way to build, a little way to get different with Baker on the team. Going to be a lot of Baker Igbukah, a lot less Baker Tez. Pair him up with Olave, and then kind of go with God on these running backs here. I think that's kind of fun. Colin Hoffman, I got a DM yesterday that I sniped you. Apologies, I didn't realize it was streamed and it wasn't intentional. Okay, first of all, I was not, to be clear, I did not DM you. So I would not do that. I don't, if I tilt on stream, I'm not actually that upset. And it's okay. But no, don't worry about it. I appreciate you coming by, hanging out. And whoever DM'd him, thank you, because we got another viewer over here. So Cullen Kaufman, no worries. My only hope is that if you did snipe me, it does result in you getting a dog bowl seat or winning the BR, whatever it was. I hope it was worth it. But no, appreciate you coming in. My guy from Go Bills DM'd me. That's awesome, Cullen. Well, thanks for coming in and hanging out. Do you remember what it was? Because I honestly, I do a lot of these, so I can't remember all of them. But that's too funny. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out. Chad's tilts are for the. I do tilt, but I get over it quickly. I do not fake the emotion. The emotion is real, but I that's how I help process it. You can help by the snipe by scrubbing. Yes, it's like indulgences in the you learn about them in your European history class. That's how you atone for your sins. One sub is one snipe, and you can return to the kingdom. He said it was. It was. I remember that because it was a dog bowl, and I was trying to do Baker Tez, and then I had to do Baker Otten instead. I remember this draft. I know exactly what you're talking about. Let me go over this team, and I think I could probably pull up that team, what it ended up being. But yeah, I was in the. I took Baker from the 1. I was the Jonathan Taylor drafter, and I think it was Baker Igbukah, and brutal run out. All right, let's see what our friends did in here. We have Keith went Jamar Chase, Tyler Warren, Cam Scatabo, T Higgins, Breece Hall, Joe Flacco double in the main BR. I will say this. One of the times that the double stack worked in BR was a Burrow Higgins Chase double up. It won the main BR. So you are recreating the magic, however, at far lower ownership with both Flacco and Higgins. So cool team here. One that I would, kind of team I'd sprinkle in my portfolio. I don't love the doubles in the main BR. I would love this team in the Deposit Kingdom, but it's definitely, we saw this very similar team win last year, so no reason Lightning couldn't strike twice. Cool team, Len. I like what you did there. Hartman, CMC, Igbukah, Odunze, Hurts, Goddard, Devonta. So another double stack here, but going through the tight end, which generally seen as slightly more forgivable because you don't expect as many tight end points. But, going back to this Chase and Higgins, we've seen games where they both erupt, and Flacco is free and low owned. So don't mind that. Also, equally, don't mind this with the Hurts stuff. CMC, Igbukah, Odunze. Nice team there, Hartman. Mr. Worth, what are you up to? Bijan, my God, it's the day of the double. The day of the double. Bijan, London, and Penix. So a Atlanta rolls, and then Saquon, Pickens, Schultz. So yeah, here we go. Just people playing game environments, people playing teams. Gotta love it. Gotta love it there. Go easy card, subs outload, unlimited chat snipes. Yeah. If we ever reach the point where we have members, we'll see. We'll have some kind of tiers. Maybe how other streams have different like tier subscriptions, depending on your level is how many snipes you get per slate. We'll see. Jasta, the classic elite QB without the elite QB. If you squint hard enough, Joe Flacco starts to look like Joe Burrow. They're both named Joe. We'll see. We will see. Nice team there. Nice team there, everyone. Appreciate y'all drafting. Let me see. Can I find that team? I am just curious. What did I end up doing? I know it was an Otten team. I know I ended up taking Cade Otten where I got sniped there. I thought tight ends were last. Now I'm just like... I'm like blind here. Was it this? Was it this abomination here? I can't remember. I made one. This team I think is... You guys want to see a funny team. This is in the dog bowl. Spencer Rattler. I finally get the 3-hole. I finally get a top 3 team. I take CMC. I take, what did I do? I guess I went Judkins Olave at the turn. And then I ended up making a Shaheed Rattler double stack with an Otten bring back in the dog bowl. Yeah, this wasn't the team, but I did want to bring this up because I'm like, I don't think this team is very good. But if Spencer Rattler double is what you need to ship the dog bowl, that's what it was. Yeah, you have Baker in it. It may have been Baker White. That's what it was. That's what it was. It was totally that. All right, let me see. Where... It was this team. It was this team. Baker, Jonathan Taylor, Rashad White. So this was when you could get Rashad White at pick 24. I mean, we're cooking. We got Baker 25, which was ahead of ADP, right? His ADP is 36. So I say, I'm going to pull White all the way to the side of the board, and I'm going to do a White Tez double stack. And who strolls on in one pick before me, or maybe it was even 2 picks, and takes Tez Johnson from me, forcing me to make the emergency pivot to Cade Otten ahead of ADP. So the team ends up being Baker, JT, Rashad White, Otten, and then Mims and Mooney. The biggest problem is in a vacuum. I kind of like, Otten versus Tez isn't huge, but I did have to I would have rather filled my wide receiver slot with Tez and then picked a late tight end than had to go Mims and Mooney. That's why it was like tilting, because I had kind of penciled in the wide receivers, and wide receivers are so gross at the end of drafts. I felt like if I could get one I wanted, then I didn't have to Mims and Mooney, man, it's like they're fine, and maybe that's what you need this week. Like they both have potential spike week stuff. Mooney's in a great matchup. Mims is in a great matchup. Snap count's not what we want, but that was not the vision. That was not why I took Baker Mayfield at pick 25. But no worries, Colleen. These are the risks. You are not entitled. You are not entitled to anything in any of these games. So, all right, let's see what the BR's 6. All right, I'm gonna hop out of this. Well, let's do 2 more BRs, and then I'll probably call it here. So I'll hop into a main BR, waiting for 3 if anyone wants to join. All right, we are at 133.40 BR5, and then I'm gonna put brutal snipe ? Yeah, we'll do a little clickbait brutal snipe discussion. All right, yeah, we gotta advertise a little bit. Pikachu. First of all, great name, Pikachu 6. GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Great name. I'm sorry that your namesake is on bye this week, because I think many of us could use him. We don't know though, because the eliminator streets are not open yet. But gotta think there's a lot of Puka teams out there for the people. So what happened? Nobody got in, and we have like fake Go AZ cards. We have card for win. That feels like what happens when you ask your grandma to buy you Go AZ cards, and then she gets you card for win, and you have to like act excited, but it's not what you wanted. So a card for win, though. If you're in here, you are 100% what I wanted, but I don't think you are. But yeah, so we got card for win in here. I don't recognize anyone else. I'm at the 2. We'll probably end up with another Bijan team, but that's okay. Yes. Quick clickbait timestamps are next. We got to grow the channel, Hartman. We're pulling out all the stops. Clickbait timestamps. Hey, Pat More Poker, GMTU. Thanks for coming in, hanging out. Yeah, the main BR payout structure is abominable. Like I'm really think I'm going to do more Wildcats, which, isn't, I guess, it's funny. Bijan and JT are flipped in this versus the Dog Bowl. So we do end up with Bijan, but I think I actually would have expected to get JT there. Yeah, it stinks. It stinks. The Wildcat is a lot more friendly, and it's a $3 price point. So again, I think people like watching the main BR on stream, and I'll still run it. But I think if I'm just like hanging out and I'm going to rip a few drafts, I might just switch to the Wildcat just for sustainability purposes. It just gets expensive, and it's so hard. It's so hard to have a. If you don't finish in the top 10, it's like you're probably gonna have a losing week again. All right, let's see. We got Bijan. Let's do Igbuka. Let's do Bijan Igbuka. Didn't quite look himself. I have some mild concerns about it, but also again, the game was kind of wonky. We'll see where he's at. I don't want to not take Igbuka, especially if he's just a wide receiver 1 against New Orleans in a dome. That seems like fading him is just bad. And let's take Tyler Warren. Again, I am inclined to scroll for tight ends in the 6 persons, but there's so many good scroll running backs and receivers. I think you just vary your teams. Make sure you have good builds. See what you can see. See what you can see here. All right. Yeah, it's funny having no one in the room. Just watching a bunch of strangers. I'm not, Aaron JH. Is this Aaron? No, it can't be Aaron Hernandez because he's no longer with us. So did they name themselves after Aaron Hernandez? I don't know. I thought their middle name was Jay. Aaron Hernandez was Jay, but I don't know. Anyway, Aaron JH 22. He's in there. He's taking guys. He takes George Kittle. Let's see what we want to do here. Do we do another elite quarterback? Let's do Javonte. No, first Sutton's gone. All right, let's get a little funky in here. I'll take Bo Nix, and then I'm going to take Javonte. It didn't really matter who I took because he has a quarterback and he can't take a running back, so the order didn't matter. Normally, I'm taking Baker. Normally, I'm taking Danny Dimes here, but I kind of want to end this team with Mims or Franklin. If Mims does have one of those true spike week games, maybe he is also a six person viable. It's a little bit thin, but whereas he's going to be, I'm guessing between 40 and 60% owned in the 12 persons, he's probably going to be like under 10% owned here. So we'll fire that up. We'll do a Knicks Mims team. We got Javonte on the other side of that game. Just trying some different stuff here in the main BR because, I think we all know we're supposed to scroll, but in weeks like this, the scrolls are uncomfortable. I think people are going to kind of stop at this Waddle line here. And I think below that, you're going to start seeing like the ownership is going to really go off a cliff versus being more gradual in other weeks where the scrolls are more comfy. That's kind of my vibesy take, especially on just knowing how I draft. It's hard for me to hit a Marvin Mims. That feels bad. And obviously, if you're a projection snob, you're seeing 12.6 versus 6.6. It's like, well, what's the ceiling case on Mims and Olave? They've got to be pretty similar here. And if I'm trying to beat 48,000 people, I might need something a little special. So we'll take Mims there. So we got Knicks, Bijan, Javonte, Igbuka, Marvin Mims, and Tyler Warren. Jasta, I am Mims over Franklin, but not with any hefty degree of confidence. I've taken both in the Dog Bowl. I see the argument for either, but no, I honestly can't tell you that I have any conviction on that. I would literally do the same thing and on some of my off-stream drafts. If you see me in a room, you might see me do this with Knicks and Franklin. Don't be surprised. I would mix him in as well. But I'm not going to do this a ton, this Knicks Mim stuff. I'm not like, oh, this is like the key to winning. But I don't think you need a ton in your portfolio to potentially have a high finish, just because there's going to be very few teams that are choosing to do that this week. You're going to see a ton of Knicks and Sutton. That's going to be like very, very common, and just like unstacked Knicks. All right. One more check on the dog bowl. Oh, waiting for 7. All right. People must have bailed. All right. We'll do one more BR and then we will get on out of here. Actually, let me just see one thing. What's the flea flicker at? This randomly fills. Waiting for 5. All right. I don't want to sit around. That's going to take even longer to fill than the main BR. All right, main BR. Let's hop on in. If anyone wants to, it's snap filled. It's snap filled. Go easy cards. Would you rather see a flatter BR payout with a $10 entry? You know, it's funny. It's like, I don't remember. I wish I remembered what the format was when it was a $5 entry, because I think they upped it from 5 to 7 in order to keep the top prize at 40 or 50 instead of 30. Was like my vague recollection. So then going up to 10, now I feel like at 10 you're starting to price out people. So I don't know. I feel like I'd rather see it at 5, but like the top prizes isn't as big, if that's an option. I just feel like $10 entry, like 7 is kind of a psychological like max, I think, for a lot of people. Like it's easy to go from 5 to 7, but you go from 7 to 10 and it starts being like, yeah, maybe I'll do something else. So I do worry that they will kill the golden goose if they take it up to 10. The sky's the limit now that Olave broke 20 points for the first time, says Hartman. He lifted the curse. It's possible. It's possible. I mean, all right, we'll take Jonathan Taylor here. These like, these players can't score more than so many points. It's just such a funny thing, because the amount of slates we play is so small. Like in a season, like they play 17 non-playoff games, which is like statistically like insignificant, you know. And football's so funny. It's not like basketball. Like football projections are so hard because the difference between getting tackled at the 1, tackled at the half-yard line versus getting another half yard into the end zone, it's like 6 points, which is humongous. And there's no way to predict that. Like I remember when Amon-Ra used to get tackled at the 1-yard line all the time. Oh, Amon-Ra, he doesn't have a ceiling. He's just like a PPR scam. It's like, no. Turned out he just ran kind of cold. So I don't know. I try not to buy into those narratives when a player is just getting like huge target share. They're just like not scoring, because it just feels like it just feels so random. Aaron JH, is it? Okay, first of all, Aaron JH, thanks for coming in. This is what happened. Now I care about you. Now I care about your teams. I would have reviewed your team if I knew you were in here. That is too funny. Aaron Hernandez. Let me see. Aaron, yeah, Joseph Hernandez. Okay, I'm not wrong. You got the same. Now I feel terrible about the whole situation, but I was not wrong. He did have the same middle initial. Aaron JH 22. Appreciate you. The 22 is the giveaway because he was not number 22. He was before it was a number free for all. So you had to be, respectful of the numbers. And he was in the 80s. He was 80. I think he was 80, 81. But yeah. Appreciate you, Aaron JH. Hulk Smashed Potatoes. Good morning to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Appreciate you. Jake asking, what if you get 27 receptions, 2 touchdowns, and still don't score 20 points? This is Rashee Rice bait, people. Don't fall for it. I've been forced to capitulate to big Rashee Rice, and we just got bailed out by the game being uncompetitive. I hate to say it. I'll take Drake London here. We got Jonathan Taylor, Drake London. But truly appreciate all of you. Appreciate the support. I will wrap it after this one. We got Coxer in the room. I don't think I recognize anybody else in here. But again, let's see what we get. Egbuka and White go to Sleeper. I was kind of hoping for one of those two, and I didn't get either. Did not get either. All right, let's do Lamar Jackson. Oops. Almost ended up with Jalen Hurts. All right, we got Lamar Jackson. So we got Jonathan Taylor, Drake London, Lamar Jackson. Yeah, Rashad White at pick 13, and he used to go undrafted in these. What a world. What a world. So we'll add one more running back to the crew. I guess if we want to get fancy in this draft, and show off like how much we know, we could take like Isaiah Likely. He's going undrafted. I think he out-targeted Andrews last game. Maybe that's a little fancy for the 6-person BRs. I don't hate it though, because he's going to be like giga unowned, and we have seen Isaiah Likely eruption games. If you want to mix him in, I wouldn't fault you. There's just, I think there are a lot of good tight ends on the board. I know, it's just something I've considered. But again, it's like, am I going to take Isaiah Likely ahead of Ferguson or Kittle? I might be getting a touch fancy if that's what we're really doing here. All right. Hopefully we get one of Scatabo or Javonte. All right, let's see. This is legal advice. Stop talking yourself out of a good team. I can't. Are you saying that I'm talking myself out of taking Isaiah Likely? Is that the good team? The unowned Isaiah Likely? Could be. I mean, if the chalk is not going off, then we might need a crazy scroll to take this down. Sleeper does not need a running back, so our next pick will be a receiver. The obvious choice is Flowers, but maybe we try to get a little different there. Ecoxer takes Olave. I think that actually would have been my preference. All right, let's do Devonta Smith first here, and then maybe we take Javonte. I'm sadly Javonte over Scatabo this week, but we'll see. Oh, Jake says I might start taking Nico in the last round if he's going to start going undrafted. Can play the Q tag if he still gets the target. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking a Q tag receiver with your last pick. I would never fault you for that. I personally don't think Nico will play, just being the short week, and he didn't practice at all yesterday. And I forget the concussion protocol rules, but I think he's gonna have to start ramping up pretty soon to be able to make it through. So we'll see where that is. But yeah, if you want to take Nico Collins with your last round, you'll just Q tag swap into someone else, and that's more than fine. I think that is more than acceptable there. All right, let's see. Yeah, why don't we do it? Why don't we get fancy? Let's do an Isaiah Likely team. People are simply not going to be taking him. This is a very chalky team. We don't have any kind of scroll. We are getting a little different just by nature, not taking Flowers. I think Devonta's going to be with Hurts a lot, but there definitely is a possibility where a lot of these guys are paired together just because everybody here is 100% owned. And if we somehow can get Likely being the piece of Baltimore we need, we can kind of dust the other Lamar teams. But if you want to take Mark Andrews, you could too. He's going to be very low owned as well. So this is just like another standard deviation of getting different, which could be unnecessary, which definitely could be unnecessary. Who Ames asks, what's your highest scoring rookies and sophomores team? I can pull that up after. Oops. I can pull that up after. Let me pull up the board so people can see what's going on here. Just looking at the board, I don't think I'm seeing anything out of the ordinary on anyone's team. Curious who E. Coxer takes here. If he takes Flacco or if he takes Caleb, it'd be my guess. I guess he could take, because he takes Caleb with Odunze. I mean, Baker was also there. He had a lot of different options there. All right, we'll do the Likely thing. So this team: Lamar Jackson, Jonathan Taylor, Javonte Williams, Drake London, Devonta Smith, Isaiah Likely. I think it's kind of a fun team. Definitely not going to be duped. Don't dupe me, bro. All right. And then this sleeper guy, he does get Baker. So he got kind of lucky that Ecoxer didn't take Baker, because I think this team is kind of sad if it has like Buka White and then has to pivot to Dak. I don't think that's what they wanted to do. All right. Let me see my... First of all, let's see. Are the Elim pods out? Are the Elim pods out? No. Because my... Still there. All right, let's see rookies and sophomores. My best team. I got this one has 581. I got you, Who Hames. 581. Let's take a look. We got Drake, May, JJ McCarthy, Jackson Dart. So JJ McCarthy not helping, but Dart and May pretty good. Oh, God. Bucky Irving, dead. Cam Scatabo puts the team on his shoulders. Bayshell Tootin, Braylon Allen. Woof, I need Bucky back for this team to hold on. Malik Neighbors, Travis Hunter, Emeka Egbuka, Keon Coleman, Theo Johnson. Thanks, Sue Ames. I have one that's 581 and is stone dead. Malik Neighbors, dead. Bucky Irving, dying. I mean, could this team advance? Maybe. Hunter, Egbuka, pretty fun. Keon Coleman is hanging out there. But, man, it needs Bucky back. Something fierce here. All right, let's see the next team. 561. May and Penix. Okay. Omari and Hampton. Travion Henderson. Why am I alive? Cam Scatabo. Our king. Braylon Allen. Bayshell Tootin. Ugh. VTJ, Ladd, Egbuka, Coleman, Kyle Williams. Emeka Egbuka carrying this team. Hey, the what? Appreciate you coming in, hanging out this morning with the thumbs up. Thank you so much. Mine is 580 and Bucky plus Hampton. Well, we are discovering my advancing teams are slip sliding away. 553. Drake, May, Penix again. Bucky, Scatabo, Tootin, Davis. Oh my God. Really need Bucky back. And then Ladd, Tet McMillan, Jaden Higgins, Egbuka, Kyle Williams, Jack Betch. If Bucky comes back, this team's actually pretty sick. I think this team's pretty sick if we get Bucky back. Ladd, Tet, Egbuka, and if Michael Mayer gets traded, Jack Betch is pretty live. So we'll see. I know I had a bunch of teams that were advancing that are no longer. Okay, yeah, we're in trouble. And I think that's because I was super high on Bucky Irving and him missing. I at one point I was advancing like 6 out of 9. And I think that the Bucky stuff has torpedoed that. But yeah, it's a fun team. I think I was out of the I was in a non-underdog state while this contest was open, so I only got 9 in before I left. All right, let's see. Let me catch up with chat, and then we'll probably hop on out. Go easy cards. Mine is a solo Daniels with Hampton team. Soon. Oh yeah, that's brutal. Brutal run out, losing Daniels and Hamptons there. Dave M, GM. Bucky was also the downfall. My last Elim. Oh, Dave, brutal. Thanks for coming in, hanging out. Sorry about the Elim team. It's tough. It's such an unforgiving format. It's like you're gonna have to get so lucky multiple weeks to make it through to the end. We'll see what I'm so curious what the surviving teams are gonna look like. One more for DBQ. Oh no, I think I gotta hop here. Go AC cards, but I do appreciate the shout. Jordan, first of all, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. My last Elim team somehow was Oronde Gadsden. Shout out College Football Battle Royale for getting me hip. Oh my gosh. Oronde Gadsden, getting you home. How much Gadsden? I wonder how much Gadsden I have in my total here. That's not much, huh? I have one Oronde Gadsden team in post draft. At least it looks like it's a BBM team. I know I have some. My girlfriend goes to the other school, guys. I know I have some on DraftKings, but that's because it's 20 rounds, so I did a lot more late tight end stuff. That is brutal. One Oronde Gadsden share. How much do I have in pre-draft? I think I was taking him. No, I wasn't. Terrible. I don't know why I actually thought I had Gadsden stuff, but there you go. Turns out I don't. I've been rooting for this guy. I've been so excited he's been hitting because I thought I was drafting him. Evidently, I wasn't. All right, everyone. Appreciate you all coming in, hanging out. Had so much fun. On your way out, if you could drop a like, drop a sub. It'd mean a ton. If you add a comment, say your favorite thing about the stream, whatever you'd like. It helps the algorithm. But I will see you all tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Same great time, same great channel. Y'all take care. See ya.